So guys, welcome to class. Today we're going to talk about the heart chakra. Okay. And just one thing I wanted to kind of first start off with is just, stay with ourselves and just make that connection that whatever we are intending to receive today, that we're able to receive it as well. The heart chakra is it's actually one of the most important chakras of our whole body, that energy wheel. Okay. So it's focused on where we can feel unselfish love and compassion. Okay. Who here is aware of the heart chakra? Just a question. Nobody? Luis, you're aware, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. A lot of us here, just so you know, anytime we start working in like the spiritual realm, right? We start helping people and so forth as healers, as guides, as however, we see fit, any kind of gifts. Our heart has to be open. It has to be open to be able to receive love and give love. And so I'll kind of talk to you a little bit about that kind of on the way through this so that we're aware. So love and compassion is a main focal point of the fourth chakra. It makes us feel a sense of inspiration to others and to find peace. So when we have our heart chakra open, people can, when they're around us, they feel calm. They feel, peace, because that person, whoever it is, has unconditional love for everybody, including themselves. Like they love themselves completely with all their imperfections. You'll notice, animals will come to you out of nowhere, people, kids, things like that. It's because your heart chakra is opened and it's balanced. If it is closed and so forth, you won't get that at all. And it's also affects a lot parts of our actual body too. So the key phrases to think about going through all this, it's going to be selfless love, compassion, kindness, having a positive attitude, clear awareness of your feelings, openness, gratitude, and living just in harmony. It's pure love. Now, issues that are common with the heart chakra is reasons why maybe it's closed, it's blocked. It's because of our inner child issues and the rejection of love, whether it's from family, whether it's from partners, friends, coworkers. It really affects us here, and this is where it hurts. Like there is like that I see, like you're literally being like poked in the heart, things like that, and it's not with it. So the physical location of our heart chakra is literally where the heart's at, and it affects our lungs too, when we breathe. So when our heart chakra is closed, or we're in pain, or we're really sad, we have a hard time breathing. You guys like notice that, especially like when you're grieving. If you're grieving, a loss, is a lot of tightness here in the heart, and that's the first thing. You feel like you're having like an anxiety attack, like you feel anxious. Okay. The astrological link is Venus, of course, because Venus, the goddess of love. This is where it connects to Venus. The day of the week for your heart chakra is Friday, and the element is air. The sense is touch. So you notice that when you go and give somebody a hug, it actually makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like the receiving of touch. Affection is really big with the heart, and that will make somebody feel so much better, and you'll always help their heart. Like start opening, start feeling free, not feeling so hard and so like blocked. Okay. That makes sense so far. Questions regarding just the basic points of your heart chakra? Good. Okay. The color for the heart chakra is green. So if you know that your heart chakra is off, wear the color green. Color green will help you. It's green energy. The green aura will help you open up your heart. So you'll see a lot of people that actually work with, crystals and stones. when they are wearing like a green stone, like malachite and so forth, is because it's helping them opening their heart. Another one that's really good for your heart to open is a rose quartz. Will help open and heal your heart, so you're able to receive love, and also give love as well. Okay, so listen to this here. Just like a quick quote: let my soul smile through my heart, and my heart smile through my eyes, that I may scatter rich smiles in sad hearts. So if you do have an open heart, when you smile at somebody, that warm feeling, people feel it, right? If you are closed, if you are grumpy, if you are just really sour, people are not going to want to be by you. And love can be very mushy. Like, you know, some people might think, okay, that's just too much. Like, I can't handle too much of that love. It's the idea of learning that love is love. Love conquers all. Love wins. You know, instead of being brutal, instead of blocking ourselves up, the heart chakra is so important for us to understand that for us to receive, we have to be able to learn to give love without anything in return. You know, just give selfless love, right? So light can light, love can light the spark of healing energies in others quickly. It also points to love potential to step across an invisible line of egotistical blocks into more evolved consciousness. So the realm is higher, so it's expanded, it's deeper, and it's self-realized. So the more open your heart is, think of it, a big mind is also a big heart. A big heart is deep compassion. So when you're more aligned with your heart, you think deep, you feel deep, like sense, like immensely, like you understand. It's like when you're watching a movie and you see trauma, or you see some sadness and it just hurts, like you feel it in your heart, and you just start to cry. You know, those are a lot of those signs that your heart is open, you know, because you understand, you have empathy is so important too, especially with like animals. You know, you watch animals too, if something's like happening to them, and just watching that, whether through a movie, you feel that. You don't have to do it in person. It can be through like this, right? You know, anywhere it's at, that means that you're very well connected with your heart, and you can feel immensely. So the last thing you want to do is hurt anybody. Why? Because many times you already know what it feels to be hurt. So that's a lot of the times when your heart chakra is where you can give, okay? Because you've endured so much pain in your life that you understand what they're going through. So sometimes when you're only able to give, you're going to attract people that are broken as well, because you want to help. So that's always a sign that it's one-ended, okay? If you're open to receiving love, that you're okay with receiving and giving love, then that means that you're balanced, and you're going to attract balanced individuals as well, okay? So think of those things too while we kind of go through all this, because then you'll realize where you're at within your own heart chakra. Now, a lot of times when the heart chakra is in the middle of our body, right? You're looking at, so our heart chakra is above, you're looking at, under it is our solar, our sacral, and our root. Above, you're looking at, it is our throat, our third eye, and our crown. So it's right at the balance point, okay? Which means that through our heart, we can balance our mind and our emotions. So if our emotions are out of whack, what does that usually mean about our mind? We don't think clearly, right? We're very reactive. Our mind is very foggy and so forth, because our heart is out of whack. So that always happens. Like, it's one of those things I tell people: don't ever make a decision when you're fatigued, when you're tired, when you're mad, or when you're really sad, because those three main emotions will really completely get your heart out of like unbalanced, and you won't think clearly at all. And so just make sure like you are emotionally stable, and that way you can think clearly. It's always better that way. Now, the heart chakra is actually called the lap of God. The fact being, guess what? Love, right? Love is huge. You know, you love others, you give, and it's pure intention, pure love. but you got to learn how to love yourself first. You cannot give to others without loving yourself first. It's that service. You want to automatically help and help and help. But at the same time, you are just giving your energy away, right? And you're not able to understand that you need to replenish yourself first and love yourself first before you can open your heart out. Okay? Does that part make sense? Do you guys understand that part, that there's like, you've got to have your emotions balanced? You really do, especially if you are, gifted and you are wanting to help others as well. You've got to make sure your emotions are balanced. I can tell you that if my emotions are not balanced, I'm not going to do a reading. I'm not going to help somebody. I'm not going to schedule a session, because I can affect the outcome quickly, and whatever we are dealing with. And if we don't know how to block and actually stabilize our emotions quickly and deflect and just be completely within, aligned to our higher self, then whatever that we are trying to heal or help others, they're not going to receive that. They're going to receive the emotions that we're currently in. So if I'm really sad, if I'm really mad, and you try to help somebody, they're going to absorb that emotion. And that's one thing that we don't want, which is why it's so important for us to be stabilized. At the same time, when we become very much like with aligned and we're more of like energy people, then even with our emotions are off, it affects our work environment. It affects our relationships with our friends, with our kids, with everything around us. If we're not emotionally stable as well, if our heart chakra isn't balanced out, okay? And that's one thing for you guys to become aware, that if you are being anxious, if you notice that you're being very short, if you're getting annoyed, or you're getting triggered, sit with yourself, and find out, okay, what's really bothering me? And what emotion am I feeling? Like, am I really sad, or what's causing me to feel that way? And that's you becoming more aware of your own body. And it's usually with your heart chakra, because that is that center point of our whole body, you guys. It affects everything. Emotions are off, guess what? We get tightness in our stomach. It affects our solar plexus. It affects our sacral. It affects our root chakra. It affects everything, because it's all, once it's it's survival, once it's like our sexuality, the other one is our confidence. If we're off, everything's off for us. Okay, so think of that, how important that part of it is as well. Now, questions so far? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you just one question on here. Is there ever, or have you ever had a time where you guys were actually like have been in love, like unconditional love, where you just feel like you're on cloud 9? Where all of a sudden, like, you just have that love, and then all of a sudden everything just is beautiful. Like nothing could ruin your day. You're walking, I mean, someone could, maybe, like bump into you, and nothing affects you. You're on cloud 9. Like, that's unconditional love. All of you guys have felt that at one point in time. Most of us have felt that at least once in our whole life. Okay. Now, if you can remember how that felt, that's the goal, to feel 24/7. Okay. Majority of people, even like healers, shamanic, we might get to 90% of the time feeling that way. But it's having to just have that pure intention of love and keep it and feeling it, and that's what you should feel like. That's that emotion. That's that sense of presence that you should feel like. When you also start to align yourself and be open to receiving like love, your heart chakra will open. That means that you think of life differently. You don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to like hurt even animals and plants. Like, you kind of evolve. You start leveling up, right? You understand everything connects. Everything is one. So the less damage you want to do to people or even animals and plants, you're going to do that. You don't want to harm people or anybody. You want to just help people, and then help yourself. And so you understand how that works out as a whole as well. So selfless love, what does that mean to each of you? You guys can like comment if you guys want to, or just unmute yourself and just talk freely. It's up to you. But what does selfless love mean?
Selfish?
Selfless love.
Like you don't love nobody?
No, like selfish, I mean, selfless, like, you know, being selfish with love, it's like you're not gonna give until like you receive something, right? Like, you know, like it's about me. Selfless love is, it's not just about you. You realize that it's about somebody else. So that's what I mean by selfless love. Like you don't put yourself, it's not about your ego. It's not about, you know, receiving or about your needs, right? You think about others, you know, or you don't even think about you go and just help somebody, right? Without even thinking anything in return. You might just go to work one day, and before you go to work, maybe you stop by a store and you see maybe like a juice, and you're like, you know what? Michelle loves to drink these things. I'm just gonna buy her that, you know? Here, there you go. Those are like selfless love actions. You just give somebody something or do something for somebody without receiving anything in return, without thinking of receiving anything in return. It's just selfless. Does that make sense, Luis?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've done that more than once. You know what I mean? So we've all been in that situation where we just want to give. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you give and the person that you're giving is looking at you like as if they expect that you want something more out of them just besides if you just giving them something? Have you ever had like that look where it's like, okay, well, they look at you like, okay, so do you want me to give you something now? Or some might feel like as if maybe they owe you something, you know? Or let's turn this around. What if somebody gave you guys something? How would you take it? Would you be happy? Would you be excited? Or would you be in your head, do they want something from me now? You know what I mean? Or what do they want?
I've had like coworkers, like one time I was feeling like I just having a really bad day, and she like all of a sudden she just brings me like a tea, and I was like out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like that was like the nicest thing like I felt like anybody had done for me. Like she noticed that I was going through a bad time, and she brought me tea to calm me down.
Good.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it made you feel good. You know, you're like, oh wow, thank you. It would just be thoughtful. That's all it is. And then some people that are having problems with their heart chakra, when they do receive a gift, some people might get defensive, you know, or might think like, do I owe you something? You know what I mean? Or they feel like, well, they did something for me, so I better do something for them next time. You know, it's one of those things where we start tallying, which we shouldn't be tallying. We're thinking, well, thank you, I appreciate the gift. And then next time, like when you see them, you know, sad, you think, well, they gave me a gift, I better give them one. Okay. Or, you know, and that shouldn't be something that should cross our mind. It shouldn't. It should just be like, I'm just going to give a gift, not thinking, well, they did it for me, so I might as well return the favor. So now we're even. You know, like now we're even. So being aware of how you think of that too will really kind of help you with your heart chakra, knowing that you're just going to give. And if you receive, thank you. You know, and also depends on how a lot of us grew up. A lot of times it's hard for us to receive something or like a gift or something. You're like, thank you, you know, because a lot of times sometimes we're taught not to receive things from people, right? And so when you do receive a gift or, you know, they buy your meal for you, you're just like, people could get offended based on how they were raised. So think of that too, which is why it really connects to our inner child too, because if it was just how we're raised to be, it's okay to receive gifts. It's okay to give, you know, it's okay to like give hugs without, you know, thinking it's something more than just a hug, right? Same thing with like, just, you know, acts of affirmation or just, you know, complimenting people. Sometimes, you know, when you compliment somebody, it makes people feel really good, but the person receiving that compliment might feel awkward to them because they've never received a compliment before. So the response might not be like, thank you. They might look at you like, sure, yeah, you know what I mean? And so before you guys, you know, think about getting like maybe defensive, think about that person. Maybe they've never received a compliment before. So not to expect you're welcome, you know, or things like that too. It all matters of the heart is not taking anything personal. We can't take things personal if we're truly, doing it from the goodness of our heart, right?
Right.
And that's the difference right there, is when you're doing the goodness of your heart, you don't take offense. You don't take things personal. You just know that you feel good and you did what you needed to do and you followed your own intuition, right? And you did it. And that's it. Because once you do something, you walk away and you don't think about it again. You just feel good because you made somebody else feel really good about themselves, and that makes you feel good. That's that exchange of that heart chakra energy too, of you both felt good. A lot of us here, we feel good making somebody else happy. Like it makes us happy. Like, thank you, right? And so being able to also pass that along as well. Okay. Questions regarding that? Well,
No.
okay. So let's look at the fourth chakra possibility. So there are opportunities with your heart chakra being open, and then there can be obstacles. When there's obstacles, and I'll kind of, we'll do like the opportunity first, which is a positive, and then what could be the actual negative, side of each one. So overflowing love, that's a positive of the heart chakra, right? When you actually do that, that's positive. That means your heart chakra is open and it's balanced. Anxious for love. When you're anxious for love, your heart chakra is unbalanced. Okay? We shouldn't be anxious about like when we're going to find love or when we're going to receive love. The anxious shouldn't go with the heart at all. Okay? 2, selfless love. Obstacle, selfish love. Okay? When you're being selfish, your heart chakra is off balance. Being empathetic, compassionate, or lacking empathy. You don't care. You don't care, right? And it doesn't mean that when you're lacking empathy, or people can have empathy towards somebody and not have tears coming down their eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's just a tone of voice. It's just the idea that you care, and you're asking, that everything's okay. So those are also forms of just having empathy too. Okay, you guys, you don't have to be really like dramatic about it. Nurturing to others, to yourself, right? Or both. That's a positive. That means that your heart's good. But then, or you're careless of people's needs and careless about your own needs as well. That would be like the obstacle of your heart chakra. Next thing would be is consciousness. Like you're aware. Consciousness, you're aware and you're in the present moment versus mental fog, not able to think clearly, right, about some of these decisions. Attentive to spirit, you're aligned with your higher self, and you're open to receiving. That is aligned heart chakra versus neglectful to spirit. You don't even like ask or care what you're doing, and you're not aligned there. Open-hearted, you're balanced versus closed-hearted. You give and receive easily. You don't think about it. Okay, flows, comes and goes. Obstacle would be difficulty receiving, or giving. Emotionally forgiving. We all get to a point where we learn to forgive others and ourselves. That is so big on the heart chakra, and I think sometimes it's the most challenging. Is if you're holding grudges, the heart chakra is closed. Okay, it's unbalanced. If you are let's say you don't let anybody get too close to you, your heart chakra is unbalanced. Okay, and there's parts of stuff that you still need to work on. If you're always positive and you look at like the silver lining of all situations, then that's a sign that your heart chakra is open. If you're always negative, then it's closed. Okay, these are just some of the opportunities just so you guys can kind of detect if you are having areas like in your heart chakra that you need to work on. And if 80% is open or 90% is open, that's great. But if like half or 20% is still open, then that's when you get more of those like challenges, just so you know. Okay, questions regarding that part? You guys ever been in any of those situations on the obstacles? I know I have. It's part of life. It's transparency. It's learning, right? It's being vulnerable. It's understanding that we're not perfect, but as long as we become aware and we know what we need to work on, that's the beauty of it. Instead of saying like, I got nothing wrong with me, you know, then that becomes more ego, and you're not ready, you know, to work on anything. Okay. So the gifts and the strengths of your heart chakra is that you love others, right? You just love human beings. You love like everything. You knowing that such a love fills up your own heart, seeing people happy, being cheerful, that fills your cup of love. You guys have probably heard that saying, fill the cup of love, right? Fill the cup of love. Like what fills your cup, right? So let's kind of just go with each of you guys. This question, what fills your cup of love? What fills it? Many have probably heard of like love languages, things like that, but you know, it could be anything. What fills your own cup of love? Who wants to go first?
I mean, I think just having caring friends, that fills my cup of love.
Okay. Like
Mhm.
someone just like checking up on you, like making sure you're okay, and just knowing that like they value, you know, how you feel.
Yeah.
Good. I was gonna wait for you to say, Luis says this, because I was like,
I've been waiting for that too, Mary.
okay. Lily, Liliana, what are you thinking? What
I
feels-
agree on what she said, and also giving back, and just even though I go through my own stuff, I like to give people advice. I don't know, it just kind of fills my heart every time like I help others.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah. Good. Okay. Luis.
Luis? Oh,
Uh,
I think there's
Luis is
Oh,
the guy.
Luis. There's Luis.
Yeah, you got two.
two Luis.
Oh, it's like Luis and Sylvia. Luis, other Luis.
I don't know. I guess getting an unexpected call from somebody. I don't know.
Okay, just like a surprise call, like surprise, just hey, how's it going? Or especially someone that you care about, right? All of a sudden, like they're calling you, and you're like, wow. Okay.
You just hit the spot right there.
Yeah, like you're thinking of me. Thank you. It's them like thinking of you, like out of nowhere, right? Good. Yeah, it's just the idea that you're on someone's mind.
Yeah.
Good. I like it. Okay, cool. Kim.
Well, for me, if I feel safe, then and I feel like I have my boundaries are there, then I feel really full just to be me and just to reach out to everybody, not in some dramatic way, just be loving. And so for me, since I got married to Victor, that unconditional love you're talking about gives you the strength of mountains to be able to cross over and take a chance, because 99% of the time it's not bad, it's always going to go in the good way. And so I think those two things have made me grow.
Good. Yes, and becoming, and that you're aware. You're aware now, since you've got that feeling of what unconditional love is.
Yes.
Because when you know, you know, you really.
And I never felt that way. And so for this to turn over to this side of it, I like people say, well, karma's going to take care of that. Well, I hope it does, because I deserve this. I finally got here and understand, so you're free to give.
Exactly. You're not kind of held to like, you have to do this, you have to do that, you actually feel good about just doing it and you don't think twice about it. You just do it.
Yeah.
And that's the most beautiful thing.
Without thinking, to act on it and not have a plan. Don't have the plan, just jump in.
No expectations is one of
Right.
the things too of unconditional love, you guys.
Right.
No expectations. Thank you for sharing, Kim. Appreciate it. Maritza.
For me, honestly, it's always has to do with my family. Having my kids and my grandkids, well, basically when my grandkids around, that always makes me go to another level. Just being able to be the grandma that I love to be with all. Now that I have 12 grandkids, it's just awesome. It's an awesome feeling when we get together and then I get to kick them out of the house and send them back home. It feels good.
That's
I would have
beautiful.
to say my kids, my family.
Good. Good. It is. It's one of those things, unconditional love is also accepting everybody for who they are, accepting them for who they are, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not wanting to judge them, not wanting to even change them. Excuse me. That's a whole different side of it too, is you want someone to be a certain way, but the whole point of life is just accepting them for who they are. Because guess what? In return, we want that same thing, right? We want someone to love us for who we are, for everything, right? But yet we have expectations on them, right? On the other side, you know what? Well, I want them to be A, B, and C, and D. Well, that doesn't work that way, because it's like however you want to receive love, make sure that you also give love that same way without the expectations. If you want to be loved for everything, then you as well better love for everything too, for who they are, whether it's friends, family, like if you're dating, however it may be. And it takes a whole different level of love for you to realize that and open up your own heart to that. You can have a peace of mind is when you can find happiness out of the most difficult circumstances. So your mind is one of the strongest and probably the biggest blocks that we have from being happy, from feeling loved, from having unconditional love, you guys. Our mind can really start to self-sabotage, can make us overthink, can make us think negative, right? And if you cannot control your mind and keep it in the present and keep it where it's going to be, calm and peaceful, then it's going to affect your emotions, and your heart's always going to be open or closed, okay? And so it's like learning how to control your mind. And it's something that all of us, I can say that, I work on that, daily, just because I need to make sure that I can have it control better and longer, and so it's been able to reiterate that, like we start thinking negative, or you start kind of, feeling like that victim role, or you kind of start feeling, like upset and mad. It's like, how am I going to get out of this funk? What am I going to do? Because you got to be able to open your heart, and if not, it'll really take you down. Now, a lot of this stuff too, just so you know, is being able to realize, how do you love yourself? Okay. So loving yourself is number one. You've got to have, you got to love yourself unconditionally. You've got to love everything about you. A lot of us, we know our imperfections. We know the things that we need to work on, right? We all know that about ourselves, but being able to understand and being transparent with people that I love myself for everything, we're not perfect. So how do each of you guys provide yourself love? How do you guys give yourself love? Anybody want to go first?
I like I like clothes.
You like clothes? Okay, so shopping.
Yeah.
Shopping could be like an addiction too, Luis. I don't know. Are you like, do you reward yourself? Is that like what you do? Like, you know what? Like, I'm, because looking good for you makes you feel good about yourself. Is that what it is, Luis? Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, I hope you're not shopping when you're like sad. God damn it, you're shopping, you don't even and you're like, I'm bad or sad, no, like we want you to shop in that way. But good. Okay. Because you look good and you feel good, right? And that's your way. Okay. I like that. Okay. Next. Let's do it next.
Okay, well, I think I like to spend time with my dog. So I feel like spending time with her outside nature and with her, it's like makes I feel peace. And I feel like that's loving myself.
Oh yeah. It feels your cup, your own personal cup.
Yeah.
Good. And then you feel happier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Liliana?
I would say thinking positive, remaining positive, because I know we all have our bad days. But yeah, just keeping positive and surrounding myself with family and close friends that are positive. I would say Mary is one of my good friends that keep me positive. So yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, thank you. Kim?
I like to take photos, and I've done it. I do it a lot. And when I go out into the middle of nowhere, which is right in my backyard, we go way out in the hills, and there's no phone, and I feel like I'm free. And until we go home and have to plan dinner, but it really does feel good. And then I get so consumed by it, but you wouldn't know that, would you? But anyway, that's what I do for me.
Good. Yes. No. Yes. I feel that. Maritza?
I do a couple different things. I guess a lot like what I like to do is just sit in my room and just lately just put music on and turn on my candles or my senses and just kind of breathe in and just kind of appreciate things that I've gone through and kind of accept what I've been through and what I'm going through and just kind of it makes me feel a lot better now. I just sit there, put some music on, and I'll just kind of sit there by myself and just zone on it there. Other times I'll just get up, get dressed, get myself feeling good, and then just go for the drive, just go there to Twin, just to go drive around, or I guess it'd be like more me time for myself. And I feel like I reward myself that way because I give myself 100% the attention and not being distracted by anybody or anything around me.
Yeah. No, good. Yes. No, thank you for sharing. It is like for me, I listen to
That lady's beautiful. That lady's beautiful.
Yes.
She is taking care of things right. She's busy with her family and found time to love herself and put that whole atmosphere and just lay it at the floor. Just put it on the floor. Very beautiful.
Love it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, balance is key. It is. It is a beautiful thing, to find that. It's a good thing. It's like being able to know that balance and knowing yourself, finally giving yourself time, giving yourself, that me time. That's my thing. It's me time. My own self-love is me time. Music, or going to nature, being alone. You learn how important that is. Especially if you have kids. When you have kids, you realize, right? That you need your own me time. It's like that sanity time, just to kind of like get your thoughts in order and, just truly like be within your own emotion. So, no, it's really good. So let me tell you of some of the issues that we may come around when it comes to like our heart chakra of receiving and giving love. And this is where the part where it stems from the inner child. Okay. Now, a lot of the obstacles that we may have put ourselves in, or maybe we attract these situations and friendships with coworkers, with our kids, with lovers, however it may be, it's when you were a child, a very young child, how you received love, okay? How you received love is huge, okay? So, did any of you guys grow up in a home where you truly, like, where you received love, like hugs, affection, the words "I love you," you know, or "good job," or you know, motivation? Did any of you guys come from that type of home?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay, good. Anybody else that you guys come from that type of home, raised in that type of environment? I know I wasn't.
Mm.
No, Liz, no.
Mm,
What is
kinda.
kind of? And okay, Maritza, yes or no? Yes, you were. Liz, okay, listen to this. Okay, so a lot of that like affects us and how we're able to receive love as we get older. Okay, if as a child, your mothers have a huge role in children. Okay, and you know, fathers do too, but mainly a lot with the actual mother is the nurturing. The feminine side of us is nurturing, right? We're loving, we are compassionate. And if at a young age, when we're learning about ourselves and we want to feel secure and safe and nurturing, and if we don't lack, if we lack the nurturing part of it, then we never know how to receive it. And so a lot of times it could be one, we could come to we're trying to find different ways to receive love, whether it's through attention, whether it's through like you end up having different kinds of addictions, you know, and that can be all kinds, right? I mean, it's a big old tree of addictions, you know, where you're trying to look for that love and you can never find it and you feel empty. You can also be very like dramatic, or you always want to fight, you want that attention, you know, too. It could go that way too. Or it can be where you just become very closed off. You don't want to be in any type of relationship, you know, because you just don't know how. Or if you do meet somebody and they do like give you a hug or they do tell you that they love you, you're just like, I don't understand those words. You see them in movies, you know, you see them with friends, maybe with different families, but you never knew what it felt like to receive them from your own family. Okay, and that can really impact somebody in their relationships with even their friends. You might be the one that might be empathetic, but they're not going to cry with you, right? They're not going to go, you know, and like hug you. They're going to hug you, it'd be like this, but they're not going to be the ones that are all, you know, really excited, you know, and very, very touchy. They're not very touchy people. And those are the kind of, you know, people that grew up in those type of environments. Or if there was a lot of abuse in those environments too, then you're actually very closed off. Very rarely will you show your vulnerability. You won't be transparent, and you're always on the guard. You're always like, it's like you're ready. You're in that survival mode all the time. You know, you always think that nothing's going to last, and you're just ready because you just been hurt so much, you know, so many times that you expect it. Like it's like that future tripping. A lot of that too is part of your heart chakra, because it's embedded. It's so embedded from such a young age that it's so hard for you to be able to even receive or even give. And if someone gets too close, gone. It's kind of like, okay, this is a weird type of like comparison, but this is what I'm being shown to explain to you guys. When you see an animal that's been from off the streets, right? You know, and you try to bring the animal in, right? Because like let's think that you're an animal lover and you want to help them, but the animal is very like iffy about trusting. They lack trust, right? And it takes time. It takes time for that animal to finally come into your home. You might, you know, give it water. You might be able to give it food slowly. You might want to talk to, you know, the animal, and very rarely it's going to come close to you. And so finally, like you have earned their trust. So that's a perfect way to kind of to explain yourself. When someone's heart chakra is closed or has been through so much pain in their life, emotional pain, you have to earn their trust, you know, before they'll finally open up. And you'll meet people, you know, you'll attract some people that are willing to do it because they know what love is. And so they're like, okay, I know it, you know, and so they're very persistent, and they finally will, you realize that they do love you, but they have to do the work, you know? And it's like, sometimes you don't realize that until you get older, like, oh my gosh, I really never knew how to receive love until this person came into my life and actually opened my eyes, opened my heart to realize that you are good enough. You are worthy of love. You're worthy of affection and touch. Right? And so that is a really big thing when it comes to your own heart chakra, you know, just so you know that, like, it really does affect you. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just wrap this up so we can start that heart chakra cleansing for all of you. But do you have any questions regarding what I just talked about regarding the heart chakra? Oh. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of that visual meditation, you know, where I'm going to kind of guide you guys, okay, through this. And so just kind of make sure that you're comfortable, and I'm going to have you take a couple of deep breaths while you guys are, I'm guiding you through this just very quick type of a clearing. You might feel maybe some tingling around your heart or your actual chest. It just means that I'm just going in there literally and just clearing whatever is in your heart that you've been holding on to, you know, for some time. It'll just take whatever is there. So you're going to feel like a little bit better afterwards. Okay. Each of you guys are going to feel something different. You know, you're all, things are going to be different for you as well. You might even vision things differently too. But that's how I'm going to start this with you guys. So just kind of get in a comfortable spot wherever you're at. And just take a deep breath. When you take a deep breath, hold it in all the way till you can feel it like down, like by your heart. We want the breath to come right to your heart and hold it there. Take a deep breath in. We're going to hold it for at least 5 seconds. Take a deep breath in, go. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're going to do this 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for your heart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. One last time. Take a deep breath in to your heart. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. I want you guys to sit there and just imagine like a large green light right in front of you. And it's just growing, it's big, and it's so bright. It's a bright, bright green light. As this light is in front of you, you notice it's just getting bigger. And as you take a deep breath right now, you're going to notice it's going to go into, you're going to breathe in that light, and breathe in that green light. So take a deep breath in, breathe in that light, that green light into your body. And just like to swallow. This green light now is going to be right over your heart. And you can see it over your heart. And you can just picture your heart. And the green light is just going around your heart and just like loving it. And it's going to feel just warm. And it's just going to start just like circling around it and just slowly circling around it. And just whatever that needs to be cleared, whatever that you need to let go, just let go. And just say in your mind, I surrender to this green light. I surrender to the divine, and I let go of whatever is needed to let go. Give permission. I let go of whatever that I need to let go. And you'll feel just that green, just that light just going over your heart a few times. And it just feels warm and it just feels like freeing, like it's just removing whatever you don't need anymore. You don't want to feel heavy, you want to feel light. You want to feel love. And it's moving all around. Good. Okay. Now you notice now that this green light is just going to just be absorbed by your heart. So if you notice your heart is going to start beating, and it's beating. Each time it's beating, it's absorbing that green light into it. See it beating, and it's absorbing the green light into your heart, absorbing it into your heart. And there's less and less of that green light that you're seeing now because your heart is absorbing it with every beat. It's absorbing the green light. Your heart is now has absorbed all that green light, which means that it's going to continue to clear anything that needs to be cleared all the way while you're sleeping tonight. And until tomorrow morning, it'll be consistently just allowing it to clear what needs to be cleared. I'll ask you guys to put your right hand or put your hand over your heart. Take a deep breath in to your heart. Hold it for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. As you release, you'll be able to open your eyes slowly. Open them up slowly. Good. Good. Okay. Anybody want to share what they're feeling, or if they saw anything, while this is happening, what they envisioned during this like clearing, how that felt?
It feels real warm, and it feels like the softest blanket you've ever touched in your life. Just like covering your heart and just soaking in like a sponge, but all soft and warm.
Good. Good. Thank you. Yes. I felt
Yeah, same here. It just felt really warm. Mhm.
good. Awesome. Felt that. Okay. Luis.
I just felt like heartbeat was going like a bit.
Good.
I guess now I'm starting to feel a little bit of warmness coming in.
Okay. Yeah, there is like, for you, I can feel like there's going to be a lot of that like tightness here a little bit, like in your chest, just like that warmth opening up, like your like opening up like your chest, your like lungs, right here. For women, we're a lot more inviting, for men, a lot of times what could happen is that we could have like the lungs here, it'll start to expand, and then the warmth comes in, which is right, it'll start coming in, but it's going to work all night, so be prepared for that. Okay. And that's what's going to feel, but it's like you've been working on your heart chakra for some time. You have. So it's there. It's there, just a little bit more. But more, Luis, and we're going to get you. I feel a lot like with you, it's a lot like it's going to affect your whole body, like the whole like buzzing, like down your legs. You're going to feel the buzzing down your whole body. and that buzzing is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We want that, whatever is there to shift down. Okay. Good. Liliana.
Well, after that, I feel more relaxed. And on my left side, I just feel kind of warm. Like I feel like it's kind of flowing. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Good. And just so you guys know, like your left side is your feminine side, your right side is your masculine side. Okay. Sylvia, Blu-ray starseed. Look that up.
Is it Blu-ray?
Blu-ray. For some reason, like that's what's coming up for you.
Okay. At first I thought it was Arcturian.
There's a combination, Sylvia. We're not always just one. Okay. We're a combination. Like I'm a combination of like 3 or 4 different ones. Okay.
Okay.
Because being we are energy, and a lot of times like we travel to different like galaxies. We can if we need to for whatever has happened, and we pick up another strand, and so we become a mixture of them. Which is why like you're not just one, you are literally like a mix, and this one's a good one. This one will kind of like will fit in more with you, like I've got the Orion, I've got the Pleiades, I've got the Arcturian, you know what I mean? I've got those strings in me. So there's nothing wrong, there's no just one. You're not just one, you're a combination. But we're all star seeds, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's just what type of star seed are you? And that's when you start kind of getting a little more yourself. For Luis, the Draconian, which is kind of funny. He's gonna like this one.
Yeah, Luis.
Draconian. So, because of the whole dragons. But this one's got different type of draconian. Some are bad, okay, and some are good. So once you start reading on the draconian like star seeds, he'll know which one he fits under. Okay, the Dracos are very like the reptiles too is what they call them. So some of them were bad and some were good. But these Dracos came from Orion's belt. So that's another one too that he'll be connected with too, is Orion's belt. And that's where I'm connected to. So it's like a lot of times a lot of us are attracting people from the same belt. Starseed families. Okay. Okay. Any questions for me? Okay. Good. Okay. If anything else comes up, like I said, you guys let me know, message me. Thank you for class, and we'll see you guys again.
Thank you so
Mary.
much.
Bye, Mary. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.